Hey, what's going on, guys? So today I just want to do a quick video showing how to test your blood sugar levels if you're diabetic. Now, I'm currently not taking any medicine for diabetes, but I am pre-diabetic, so I do check my blood every morning. It's just kind of part of my routine. I wake up, I drink a whole bottle of water, I check my blood, I check my blood pressure now. I got a blood pressure cuff. Yeah, I just kind of want to share this with you because I thought it was pretty interesting. There's a lot of people out there who have no idea how this works. If you happen to be overweight or if you have diabetes in your family history, genetics, this might be something you want to just randomly do. These test kits are super, super cheap. This happens to be a Contour. My wife and I did a lot of research, and apparently this is the only system that is actually 100% accurate. I did not know that previously. I've used many different blood test kits before, and apparently some of them are very inaccurate. What I like about this one is that it does come with an app. This specific one, this stick Contour, does come with an app which keeps all the information on there, which of course I'll show you as I test it here. The only caveat to this one is that the strips are a little more expensive than other ones. It's about $30 for 100 strips, but if you have a doctor who can prescribe you the strips to the pharmacy and you can get them in bulk, it's a little bit cheaper to do it that way. But these strips also take very little blood compared to some other ones. So, I mean, there's pros and cons to everything. But this exact system I got on sale for $7. I actually bought 3 of them. I can keep one in my vehicle. I can keep one at another location. I can keep one here. So I always have backups. But normally they're like $25 or something. So blood test kits are not very expensive. And again, if you don't go with Contour, you go with a different brand. There's usually a variety of different strips you can use, which are a lot cheaper, especially if you're doing it, quite often. So anyway, this is how this works. First, I'm just going to open my app real quick. It is just called Contour, all right, for this specific machine. And it's nice because it does show you, previous days and stuff. You actually don't need to open the app. Once you do a test, it's automatically going to throw it to the phone anyway. You'll probably get an alert. But anyway, this is how it works. First, you grab a test strip. All right. Put that off to the side. Now, if you notice on top here, we have extra Lancets. That's the actual little needle that pokes you. And then there's a little test fluid here. This is to help make sure your machine is calibrated. So every so often, maybe, I don't know, if you're doing it really often, maybe once a month, but other than that, every couple months, you just do a little test drop of this on the test strip and make sure that it's reading properly. But anyway, right now I actually just swapped the Lancet, but when I'm done, I'll show you a new one. All you have to do is take your little machine here. I forget what this exact name for this is, but essentially this is holding the Lancet. It's holding the little needle that pokes you. And I know it's really intimidating. I mean, it's not comfortable. It doesn't really hurt, but it's poking a needle in you, to draw some blood. So it is what it is, but there are adjustments here, okay? So you can go lower or higher. Basically, you're pulling this back. It's setting the spring, and when you push the button, it releases it. So it just, barely pokes out of there. If you're putting pressure on your finger, what you're doing is you're pushing some of that skin inside of this, opening, and then it's just barely poking you. Obviously, the higher the number, the deeper it goes. Just depends on a lot of different things, how deep you need it to go. But if you do apply pressure, you don't need it to be that deep. Now, also a quick little tip. Generally speaking, people do this on their fingertips because you have a lot of little blood vessels and stuff, so it bleeds easily. You have a lot of nerve endings at the very tip of your fingers. If you do the side of your finger, it doesn't quite hurt as much. Okay, so just a little tip. So basically, I'm going to set that. I'm going to put my test strip in the machine. That's where the blood is drawn, or red, and that's where it goes in the machine. I just keep this in the kit, make it easier. So once let's see, let me set my phone again. Once you turn the machine on, it's going to show you that, okay, we're ready for taking some blood. Again, I already pulled that back. Use the side of my middle finger here. All right, so I poked it, squeeze some blood out. Not terrifying, you know what I mean? And just put this, let me zoom in real quick so you guys get a good shot of this. All right, so I'm going to put this just at the edge. You see it soaks the blood up. All right, then it counts down. And there's the reading, 106. So this is from just diet and exercise alone. I'm getting a 106 reading, which is fantastic. This is from fasting. All right, so I just woke up maybe 3 hours ago or so. Had a couple errands to do, but now I'm kind of getting around to my morning routine here. So yeah, 106 is not bad at all. If you're not diabetic, it should probably be between 80 and 100. But so now with this particular machine, you have the option to put in further information. Like on this, it's going to show the apple, the eaten apple, and then the apple with the line through it. The apple with the line through it, I believe, means that you've fasted. So that's what we're going to go to. All right, I'm going to select that. The apple would be your testing before food, and then the eaten apple, obviously, after food. So hit OK, and it shows a green light, which means it's good. The number is good. Obviously, if it's bad, it's going to be red. And go ahead and, again, through the app, fasted before breakfast. So I get to save that, go to done, and that's it. And I got, again, it's really nice for the app here, especially if you're revisiting a doctor all the time. They can go through here and they can scroll through and see your numbers and stuff. You can see my past numbers, 115, 106, 120, 83, 101, 117, 94, 108, and so forth. So this, again, is just from diet and exercise alone. It really, really, really helps with the blood sugar levels. So let me show you real quick how this works if you wanted to change out the Lancet. You don't have to change out the Lancet every single time you use it, but I would do it at least once a week, especially if you're doing this, testing blood at least 3 times a day. So again, this particular one, and all these are going to be a little bit different, but they all work the same. They all have a usually adjustable head. It has a plunger, and a button to release it. But this one, you turn it and then lift. This one happens to have a little arm, so you can, help assist pulling that out. Grab the new one, pull a little tab off. All right, take the new one, put it down here, bring this arm back down. Now you kind of use your fingernails to grab both sides of the tab to make sure that's seated properly, okay? And then you are good to go. Put your top back on, make sure it's locked in place, and that's pretty much it. Really simple stuff. Now, as far as the old one, it goes on the little tab from the new one. So you take the needle, you push it into the side here, and that's so that it's safe to throw out the garbage and that your garbage man doesn't get poked. Okay, last thing you want to do is have someone else get poked with your needles. Now these things are technically like hazardous waste, but everyone just throws them in the garbage. As long as you make sure your little tip is covered completely. So that's it. You throw those out and just repeat the process. Obviously, when you run out of strips, you got to get new strips. Every time you get a new bottle of strips, that's when you really should be testing with this fluid to make sure that it's going to be reading properly. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. This is what diabetic people do all the time. Some people do it more than others, but like I said, even if you're not diabetic, if you are overweight, if you have some symptoms of possible diabetes, if you have diabetes in your family history, this is something that you should own. It is very inexpensive. I recommend anyone to get one of these kits if you're just curious of how your blood sugar levels are. Test it out. People would be really surprised. Some people have pre-diabetes and don't even know it. You don't have to be big and fat. Okay, you could be very healthy, in shape. You can have a six-pack, go to the gym, and have diabetes. All right, so it's just, it's kind of an important health thing. So if you're interested, that's just how you do it. Again, it's super cheap. You could buy these pretty much at any pharmacy. Walmart carries them. And again, if you do have to get them frequently, you can have a doctor call in the strips so that not only do you know that it's guaranteed to be there, but you can get maybe a couple months supply at a cheaper rate, especially if you have some kind of insurance coverage. Now, everyone's a little bit different, but for me, every single morning I do it after I fasted. It's a good basis for the day. But generally speaking, you're supposed to do it before you eat a meal and then about 2 hours after you eat a meal. I don't do it every single meal before or after. In fact, most times I'll only do it afterwards if I have some kind of carbs or sugar in my meal, because I'm more curious about that specific meal and how it affects me. You know what I mean? So if I happen to have a sandwich with 2 slices of rye toast or something like that, I want to see how that raised my blood sugar levels and just get an idea for it. And then certain things, if I eat it and I see, okay, well, rose it just a little bit too much, then I'll just stay away from those foods, or I'll have less of them, or I'll exercise afterwards, or something else to keep those numbers down. But anyway, that is all I just wanted to share with you guys. So let me know down in the comment section, do you have some form of diabetes? And if so, how long? It's pretty common. It's one of the most common things out there as far as health issues, health concerns. But yeah, I mean, for some people, luckily, weight loss could be the solution, and I'm hoping that's what works out for me. So still kicking on a good diet and some exercise and just dropping pounds. So that's all. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the quick video. Again, this is for educational purposes because so many of you watching are not diabetic, maybe you don't even have friends or family who are diabetic and you've never actually seen this before, it's pretty straightforward. It's like I said in the beginning, a little intimidating, jamming a needle in your finger. It's not really like that. It's a quick little, like the second you go, ow, that hurts, it's done. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're continuously jabbing it, and it's not like it's going all the way in or anything. It's just barely poking the skin. Once you bleed, that's it. You know, I could squeeze here and it's not coming out anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like you're going to be putting on Band-Aids or anything. But I do recommend, again, the slight side, there's a little less nerve endings, as well as swapping between fingers. I have a bad habit of continuously just doing my middle finger just because it's there, and I don't know, it seems to be less painful. But yeah, it is what it is. So that is it. Hopefully you guys have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Thanks for watching. Take care.